Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Shop. I'm David Kirby.
And I'm John Burton. And Let's Talk Shop is here to bring you new disability perspectives, enlightenment, information, and maybe a couple laughs on the way too.
Alright. So this podcast is brought to you by MedShop. That's my startup company, which will let you search for medical equipment from all over the internet in one place. And an update about that, we are very close to rolling out our beta version. It should be ready in the summer. We're currently putting some last finishing touches, taking care of all the little details. If you want more information or to keep posted about our beta version, like our Facebook page, link in the description. So, before we get to our main topic, I'd like to introduce a new segment, and we'll just talk about a noteworthy piece of news that we think is interesting regarding disabilities. So, what I'd like to talk about is the Boston Marathon. It was this past weekend, and the winner in the wheelchair division was Tatiana McFadden. And if you haven't heard that name, you should, because he's widely considered to be the Usain Bolt of wheelchair track, if you will. But this marked her 5th win of the Boston Marathon and her 22nd win of the 3 major marathons. Not to mention all her Paralympic medals. So, congratulations to her.
Yay, congratulations. Also, we'd like to point out that she is also a fellow alum of the University of Illinois. As
What?
are the University of Illinois?
No, I was saying, like, what? Like,
Yeah, what? Yeah. And I repeated myself. What are you saying, David?
okay.
Anyway, yeah, David and I are both alums of the U of I. And of course, the U of I, for those of you who don't know, is pretty renowned for their accommodative service for people with all disabilities. David and I actually met through the Beckwith Residential Support Services Program, which is a program tailored to meet the living needs of students with particular physical disabilities who need assistance with activities of daily living, things like going to the bathroom, getting dressed, basic things like that, in addition to whatever academic accommodations are needed. And the program itself is very, I would say, unique. There have been a few modeled after it, but it really was the first of its kind.
And it continues to be the benchmark. I don't think it's ever stopped being considered the best.
Yeah, they've continually refined and tailored the program to meet the needs of really anyone who wants to go to college and has the aptitude and drive. They will find a way to accommodate you. They don't want to be restricted based on physical need.
Yeah, so long story short, it's a very, very the most wheelchair accessible college dorm probably in the entire country, and arguably the rest of the world too. It allows people with severe physical impairments that would not ever have the capability to live on their own away from home and go to school otherwise. Without the supportive environment and the personal care services they offer, that would just be impossible.
So for today's episode, we'd like to kind of focus on the program and, maybe delve into our personal experiences there just to kind of give you an overview of what it's about, what it offers. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep our own experiences to our first impressions, our sort of experiences to the program,
Yeah.
as it was new to us, as it's probably also new to you. So, I think what we're gonna start with is how we first heard about the program. You would think a big, well-known in certain circles, wheelchair accessible college program would be widely publicized and well-known, but it's really not. And everyone at Beckwith that I knew had a very interesting story, a very serendipitous kind of way that they learned about the program, because they couldn't just look it up or hear about it from their doctor or whatever. So I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I used to go to the MDA summer camp. That's Muscular Dystrophy Association. They put out an adaptive summer camp every year. And, the age cutoff was 18, so I was, on my very last year, I was getting ready to start looking into colleges and things in the fall. I had always assumed that college for me would be just a continuation of, what I had known from school before. Get up early, go to class, come home, do your homework, and that's it. But it's always just a given that I would feel like me didn't do the normal college thing, quote. But, once I went to MBA camp, they always had several guest speakers come in, usually more for entertainment, but sometimes for informational purpose too. A girl named Annie Hopkins came and spoke at our camp. She had just recently graduated from the University of Illinois, and she told about her experiences and how she had lived in an accessible dorm that let her live away from home. And that was it for me. I said, I'm doing that. Right?
Yeah.
I went home, I told my parents. They weren't as quick to believe it was possible. Said, oh, that's a really nice idea. But that's probably not going to happen. Right? So they, I wasn't hearing it. So they thought, maybe they'll look up the program, do some research and tell me, see, this is why you can't go. This is why it isn't going to work. But I think it backfired on them because they ended up figuring out that, wow, this really can work. It really does, provide everything I'm going to need.
Mm-hmm.
So, after that...
It was tough to make the argument
for
you not to go.
Yeah, it turned disbelief to fear, like, holy crap, he could move out and live on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you? How'd you...
It was similar. A family friend of ours who we met through Cure SMA, which was then called Families of SMA. For those of you who don't know, it's a not-for-profit dedicated to raising awareness and doing research for the SMA.
And SMA stands for what?
Spinal muscular atrophy, which is my diagnosis. Yeah, so anyway, in the program, I was probably 3 or 4. And we quickly met another family, and, we were kind of friends through it. And they actually had a daughter who was a couple years older than me. And so we kind of kept in touch for years. And eventually she went to college, and she knew about the program. So they just told us, and we went there and we talked to people and kind of saw what it was about. And we thought, well, okay, I mean, we got roughly the same diagnosis and same symptoms. If she can do it, why not me? Yeah, so that was pretty much it.
The rest is history.
Yeah, and I can tell you my family was like yours, definitely a little hesitant and worried. They want what's best for me. They wanted me to reach my potential, but there was definitely that hesitation too.
Yeah,
which is understandable.
I mean, they have all the normal concerns plus additional ones that they can't go all the way to college.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's common for any parent, to kind of have that separation anxiety when their kid goes to college. But it's like, on top of that, they have to worry about the health risks.
Yeah.
Whereas that's not something most parents have to worry about.
Yeah, most parents don't have to worry that their kid won't be able to use the bathroom if they want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think what we could also talk about was sort of first impressions that we had when we first got there. Like what the program was like, because it was all new to us too. Do you want to go first or should I?
So, yeah, I remember that first afternoon when we were in the cafeteria at Beckwith, and they had all the freshmen just with their families or whoever they were there with, and they kind of gave them like a little speech. The administrators did, and
like an orientation.
Yeah, a freshman orientation, but specifically for Beckwith students, and just kind of what to expect, and some stuff on managing PAs, and I don't really remember what else, but it was just so interesting to have so many wheelchairs kind of in the same room. I mean, I've done the MBA camp thing. I think the last time I went, I was like 12 maybe, so it had been a while since I did the conferences for SMA too, but it was different, because it's like these are all people mostly around my age, and it's very kind of reflective, I think, of like, it felt like, these people are like me, we're all kind of in this new experience together, we're all kind of trying to figure this out together, and it was, I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I think I wasn't really listening to what the admin was saying about these are what the rules are. This is college now.
I can tell you one thing that they said that day.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I said I couldn't tell you one thing that they said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mostly looked around at everyone else. Because, like you said, I had only ever gone to that camp a few times. And that was my only experience. That was sort of almost my expectation. It was like, I've done this. I know what other people with disabilities are like. Like, this won't be that different. They'll be just like me. But that was not the case. Right, I look around and see, oh, look at him, he has a dog. Like a service dog, right? It's like, oh, look around, that guy can move his own wheelchair with his arms. Oh. Like, look at that. That girl's sitting in her wheelchair differently than I've ever seen other people, like.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's, like, engaged? What? It's, it's kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope I'm not being too much of identifiers to the real people that I'm talking about, but what's up, everybody, if you recognize yourself?
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. It's like, there's, physical differences between us, but, like, I think I learned pretty quickly that, we were all kind of equally clueless at that age, It's like, we didn't really have any taste of independence. at that point in our lives. We were all, academically, we were all kind of just starting off. We all obviously had, some aptitude given that we all got admitted into the school. But, like, for the most part, we were all pretty much equally worldly, equally self-aware, equally intelligent people. And, it wasn't something we noticed right away, but it was something we learned pretty quickly. I think we could do a whole episode on just the cultural implications of living in a place like that. I think it's probably good that we keep the focus mainly on
the program itself.
Yeah, on the program.
And our experiences.
Yeah, we should definitely do an episode on that later, though. Yeah, but what came next?
So yeah, we could get to more of the nitty-gritty specific things that we did as a result of living at Beckwith and going away to college. We could do several episodes, probably. But for now, we're just going to stick to a little bit of an introduction and our first experiences when we first got there. So, growing up with a severe disability, needing a lot of help with daily activities with my parents, I wasn't ever really all that independent. Even in high school, I was home with a personal aide, but that was only for a few hours a day. And, in high school, you got a strict routine to stick to. Second period, third period, fourth period. Right, so all the while, they're watching you like a hawk, right? It's like you get detention if you don't go to class. But now, that I was in school, I was in college, but now that I was on my own all the time, every second of the day, I really had a chance to, decide exactly how I liked my routine, exactly. I could make all the decisions. I was able to be fully independent for the first time. It was really an eye-opening experience. And it was just really exciting to try all these new things. Try doing them on my own for once. And I remember the first time I really tested this. It was probably within the first month or two of school. Me and my roommate, we took the bus downtown to the theater by ourselves. We bought the tickets, went to the show by ourselves. Then we went to the restaurant, went to Applebee's, very nice. Ordered our food, paid for it, decided on the tip and everything, all by ourselves. And as simple as that was, like Phil and I, we never done something like that. Gone somewhere completely by ourselves.
So this was all just improvised.
Yeah, there's something we decided to do, I think, like on a Friday night or something,
Wow. What an adorable little date you guys had. No, but seriously, that's awesome.
And it was...
I mean, like, having never done that before,
As mundane as it might seem to someone else, like, never having done it, it was like...
Yeah.
Dude, we did this on our own.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I ever had quite the excursion that you guys had then, but... I mean, even little things like between classes, sometimes I would just stop at like a coffee shop, and go to the counter and order a coffee, and I'd have the cashier help me with my wallet, and it was just something I did between classes freshman year, and just little things like that, I mean, I come from a pretty small town, very sparsely populated. And it's not like you can just walk down the street and go to a coffee shop when you want, it's like you had to drive, and you know, and,
Yeah,
and
it wasn't really feasible for you to do.
it just wasn't feasible at all, you know.
Yeah.
It's like in a community like that, when everything's close together and everyone kind of like, you know, has this inclusive attitude, and
It's infectious, yeah.
it is, and I think it really kind of helped me become more independent. Just those early experiences like that kind of planted the seeds for bigger endeavors later on.
Yeah. Gotta take baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the main takeaway is just now that we were at the Beckwith program, all these little issues, little problems that would normally be a bigger deal were sort of eliminated.
Sure, it's like
So if we were taking a bottom-up approach, now we were moving one step higher, right? All these other issues were taken care of.
yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
what next? Oh, I thought you had something to say.
Yeah, no, just like maybe, you know, you go out and you have to go to the bathroom, or you get uncomfortable in your chair, things like that you need help with. It's like your salvation, I guess, is just a short walking distance away. You know, you can always go back to that dorm, you know, to Beckwith, and there'd be someone on duty help you out with little things like that, you know, and just knowing that, I think, is a big weight off your shoulders.
Yeah. Peace of mind, I would say, is good.
Peace of mind is a
A
lot
good
to do
phrase,
with
right?
it. Yeah,
Like, you have your own personal care schedule, but then there's always someone there. They have a 24/7, you know, person on call. So any time of day, if you need help, there's someone just, you know, a click away. They use a paging system. You just click it.
yeah.
Someone's there in a couple minutes.
Hmm.
Moving on, I think one last thing to touch on as an overview to the Beckwith program was our caregivers, our personal care was students as well. Right? So they offered
Yeah.
the job to students, so, you know, if they're going into a medical field, if they need experience, or, you know, just needed some money, a flexible job that they could fit in with their own schedule, like being a PA at Beckwith, is really ideal, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's maybe an hour or two of work at a time. You know, it's enough that you can fit in between classes and make a little bit of money, but not interrupt your study schedule. You can kind of pick the shifts that you want that fit your life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something to note, that the way our personal care is scheduled at school, like, we all made our own schedule because, you know, we had classes too, but we kind of stick an hour here, stick an hour there, 2 hours here, right? It's all sort of the most convenient schedule for both us as the, quote, employer and the student as well.
Yeah, and it really makes sense again for that campus layout, you know, where everyone lives within a few square miles of each other. You know, because it's not like it's hard to find someone willing to drive out for a couple hours of work.
Yeah, exactly.
But students who live, you know, maybe just down the block, it's
all walking distance.
yeah,
right?
it's a great opportunity for someone like that in that situation.
Now, saying that, it creates quite a different atmosphere, environment, than if they were all just nurses that were, you know, our parents' age, coming in and out. Like, very nursing home feel.
Yeah.
This was not like that at all. Right, this was tier to tier. And we could talk about some of the social implications of that as well. later on. But
Yeah, I think it has benefits, but it's not perfect. Yeah, we should talk about that later, though. I think.
yeah, but more so, just broader the environment. It really feels like, you're a teen, you're two equals, peers of the same age, working to complete a task. It's not like you're the sick person. They're, the altruistic one that's come to offer you their help, right?
Yeah, it doesn't fit that medical model. It's like you're just friends.
Yeah, it's definitely not the norm. Well, I think there's a good place to stop. I think we've given a pretty good overview of where we went to school, what the program was like. We definitely want to cover this more. It's definitely a point of, a topic John and I like to talk about. Our college days, so we're definitely going to return to that. But in the meantime, if you like what you heard, don't forget to like and subscribe. Even leave a comment if you have any thoughts or anything. And again, our Facebook page, the link will be in the description. So, this has been Let's Talk Shop. I'm David Kearney.
And I'm John Burton.
Signing off. Later.